A certain loss, a driftness within my own heart of and life and where I was going, and what I was doing and how I was going to carry on. Hollywood icon Pierce Brosnan is facing one of the most heartbreaking moments of his life. After decades of love, laughter, and devotion, the former James Bond star is now preparing to say goodbye. Following his wife Keely Shaye's devastating medical diagnosis, known for their unshakable bond and inspiring love story, the couple's world has been turned upside down by news that no one ever wants to hear. So what exactly is Key facing, and how is Pierce coping? This emotional chapter reveals a side of Brosnan the world has never seen. Let's dig deeper. Enduring love of Pierce Brosnan and Keely Shaye Smith. Pierce Brosnan found love again with journalist Keely Shaye Smith. After meeting in vibrant Mexico in 1994, their bond grew steadily over the years, leading to a heartfelt wedding in 2001 at Ireland's historic Ballintober Abbey. This meaningful location added timeless charm to their union, beginning a lasting and special partnership. Their marriage has been much more than just a partnership. It has been a true pillar of strength for both of them together. Have faced the harsh glare of public attention and the deeply personal struggles that life has thrown their way through it all. Their love has remained a steady anchor, keeping them grounded and united, no matter what challenges appeared on the horizon. Keely and Pierce have been blessed with two wonderful sons, Dylan and Paris, who add joy and warmth to their family life over the past 2 decades. They have celebrated countless memories, milestones, and moments of happiness. Keely in particular has been a constant source of support and comfort for Pierce, especially during difficult times marked by grief and loss. Her unwavering presence has helped him navigate the darker chapters with courage and hope. In 2024, Keely embarked on a remarkable journey of self-improvement, shedding an impressive 100 pounds out and through natural and healthy means. This transformation was not only about changing her appearance, but also about embracing a lifestyle grounded in self-respect, wellness, and inner strength. Her dedication to health and well-being inspired many, reflecting the depth of her character and the vitality she brings to their shared life. The love between Pierce and Keely shines brightly, often expressed through heartfelt public declarations and moments of mutual admiration. Pierce affectionately calls Keely his north, south, east, and west, a beautiful way of saying she is his entire world, his guiding compass in every direction. Their enduring partnership stands as a shining example of hope, resilience, and the power of love to overcome life's toughest storms. What was her diagnosis? How severe was her condition? Why did her husband Pierce Brosnan say goodbye? Let's find out. Keely Shaye Smith's health struggles amid public pressure. After welcoming her children into the world, Keely experienced a noticeable increase in her body weight. While it's quite normal for many new mothers to gain some weight during and after pregnancy, Keely's journey was marked by a faster and more significant change than usual. Scientific studies have shown a clear link between the weight a mother gains during pregnancy and how much she retains afterward. But in Keely's case, this weight gain wasn't just about the usual postpartum changes behind the scenes. Keely faced several health challenges that contributed to her rapid weight increase. Among these were issues with her thyroid gland, a small but powerful organ that plays a crucial role in regulating the body's metabolism and energy use. When the thyroid doesn't work properly, even just slightly, it can make managing body weight much harder. Medical research confirms that mild thyroid problems are often connected to weight gain and can be a significant factor in developing obesity. Additionally, Keely struggled with hormonal imbalances caused by her increasing weight, creating a difficult cycle to break, combined with a lifestyle that wasn't always the healthiest. These factors worked against her efforts to maintain a balanced body. Despite these health hurdles, Keely's attention was mostly focused on two main things: being a loving mother and managing her busy career. She dedicated herself to her children and her work, often putting their needs before her own. Her career demanded long hours with tight schedules and many responsibilities, which meant she had very little time left for exercise or personal self-care. The constant juggling act between family life and professional duties left Key with limited opportunities to prioritize her own health as her body changed. So did public attention. The media closely followed Keely's weight gain and didn't hesitate to report on it. Sadly, this brought her face to face with harsh criticism and unkind remarks on social media. Many people online were quick to judge and mock her appearance, often without knowing the full story behind her health struggles in interviews. Keely opened up about the pressure she felt as the wife of actor Pierce Brosnan. She shared how difficult it was to meet the high expectations that the public and media placed on her, especially about her appearance, but despite the negativity, she chose a path of self-love and resilience instead of letting the cruel comment bring her down. Keely embraced every part of herself, proudly loving her curves and rejecting the harsh judgments. Her story serves as a powerful reminder of the complex challenges many women face after childbirth. Not just physically but emotionally and socially as well. It highlights the importance of kindness, understanding, and self-acceptance in a world that often focuses too much on appearances. Keely's diagnosis would normally affect her husband indirectly. Did her diagnosis trend globally considering her husband's fame? Let's dive into the details of Pierce Brosnan's rise to stardom, of a star before he ever sipped a martini on screen or charmed millions. As James Bond, Pierce Brosnan was a boy navigating the emotional maze of abandonment and longing in the quiet town of Navan, Ireland. Born on May 16, 1953, his father vanished before he could form memories, and his mother, seeking a better life, moved to London to work as a nurse, leaving young Pierce to be raised by relatives. This fragmented childhood wasn't glamorous. It was lonely, filled with uncertainty and defined by constant moves between homes. But in those quiet, lonely moments of childhood, something powerful began to take root deep inside him, a quiet strength shaped by hardship, a burning desire to discover who he truly was, and a growing talent for adapting to whatever life threw his way. These silent battles became the foundation for something remarkable. The spirit of a survivor. When he was finally reunited with his mother in London, the wide-eyed boy from the countryside of Ireland suddenly found himself in a fast-paced, unfamiliar world filled with noise, color, and endless new possibilities. The cobblestone lanes and open fields of rural Ireland were now replaced with crowded streets and the buzz of city life. It was overwhelming but also thrilling, and through it all he held on to that inner fire that had kept him going during the years of separation and uncertainty. He began studying commercial illustration at St. Martin's School of Art, aiming to tell stories through his sketches, but an unexpected moment changed his path. At a circus workshop, he was captivated by a daring fire eater's performance. This fiery act sparked a passion within him that his art hadn't, steering him toward a new thrilling world beyond visual storytelling. That spark pulled him toward the stage, and before long he found himself stepping through the doors of the prestigious Drama Centre, London. It was there, among intense training and relentless self-exploration, that he began to shed his old skin. The young art student evolved into something new, a storyteller of flesh and bone, someone who could not only draw emotion but become it. He learned to give life to characters with stunning realism, his performances carrying the weight of real experience and personal loss. By the time he stepped onto the professional stage, Pierce Brosnan was no longer just an actor in training. He was a man who had lived through struggle, separation, and reinvention. His talent wasn't just technical skill, it was deeply emotional, rooted in the pain he had known and the dreams he had dared to chase. Every role he played carried echoes of his journey, from the quiet boy left behind in Ireland to the young man who found fire in performance and purpose in storytelling. His presence on stage and screen was more than just charisma. It was the magnetic pull of someone who had endured, someone who had walked through uncertainty and emerged not broken but fiercely alive. Brosnan brought with him not only the ability to act but the soul of someone who had fought for his place in the world. And that depth, that raw, unspoken understanding of life's highs and lows made him unforgettable. How did Brosnan hit the spotlight shining beyond the cameras? Let's dive into his wins and losses in life. Outside Hollywood, a life beyond the cameras. Brosnan didn't just arrive in Hollywood, he lit up the screen and left a lasting mark. His journey to stardom began with the hit 1980s television series, Remington Steele, where he played a suave and witty private investigator with his smooth accent, polished charm, and clever sense of humor. Quickly won the hearts of viewers around the world. But while this role made him a household name, it was only the beginning of something much bigger. Pierce became the fifth actor to play James Bond in GoldenEye. Bringing new energy to the role, he blended classic charm and daring with deeper emotions, making Bond both tough and tender across 4 films. Brosnan showed he was more than a handsome action star. His performances were marked by depth, elegance, and intensity that left a lasting impact on fans in the franchise. But behind the dazzling lights and cinematic fame was a man who carried deep personal pain. Brosnan's love story with Australian actress Cassandra Harris was nothing short of beautiful. The two met in 1977, quickly formed a close-knit family when Cassandra's first husband passed away. Brosnan adopted her 2 children, Charlotte and Christopher, as his own. Later, they had a son together, Sean. For a time, life seemed picture perfect. Then came heartbreak in 1987. Cassandra was diagnosed with ovarian cancer, and after a brave 4-year battle, she passed away in 1991. Brosnan was devastated. I held the generous, strong, beautiful hand of my first wife, Cassie, as ovarian cancer took her life. He had lost not just his wife but his best friend and the love of his life. He once described the grief as a wave that never really goes away. It just changes shape. That same wave returned years later. In 2013, when Charlotte, his beloved daughter, died of the very same disease at the young age of 41. These losses were more than just painful. They reshaped him. Instead of letting the grief consume him, Brosnan chose to channel into purpose. He became a strong voice for cancer awareness, using his fame to support research, raise funds, and comfort those going through similar experiences. His sorrow turned into strength, and his love for Cassandra and Charlotte became a driving force behind his activism. Today, Brosnan is remembered not only as one of the most iconic James Bonds, but also as a man of great heart and resilience. His story is not just one of fame but of profound love, deep loss, and the courage to keep moving forward through it all. He has remained a symbol of grace, both on screen and off, and a reminder that even the most glamorous lives can be touched by tragedy. Yet rise with purpose. There are only a few people who would cope with the kind of heartbreaking loss Brosnan experienced. Let's take a close look at the soul behind the suit: legacy, love, and the art of resilience. When most people think of Pierce Brosnan, images of a suave secret agent or a charismatic romantic hero often come to mind. He's the face of James Bond, for many known for his smooth style and captivating performances on the big screen. But beyond the glitz and glamour of Hollywood, Pierce's true story shines brightest in how he lived his life off camera, marked by kindness, strength, and a heart full of generosity. His journey hasn't always been easy. Born and raised in Ireland, Pierce's early years were far from the spotlight. Life presented its challenges, including the heartbreaking loss of his first wife, Cassandra Harris. Yet through these painful moments, Pierce showed a resilience that quietly shaped the man he would become, a man who understands loss, but still chooses hope, who knows sorrow but embraces joy. Everything changed for Pierce in 2001 when he married Keely Shaye, a journalist and passionate advocate for the environment. Keely brought new light into his life, healing old wounds with laughter, shared dreams, and a renewed sense of meaning. Together they built a family, raising 2 wonderful sons, Dylan and Paris. Fatherhood has given Pierce a deep, unspoken joy, He often talks about the satisfaction he feels watching his children grow, and more recently, he has found new happiness as a grandfather. For him, family is a source of strength and comfort, a reminder that life's true treasures lie in love and connection. But Pierce Brosnan's life is about far more than just acting and family. He is deeply committed to making the world a better place. As an environmentalist, he tirelessly supports causes that protect the planet, showing that his care goes beyond words and into action. Whether speaking at events or working behind the scenes, Pierce uses his voice to raise awareness about issues that affect us all. Also a talented painter, expressing himself in colors and shapes, revealing a more personal, creative side. This artistic outlet allows him to explore emotions and ideas beyond the scripts he performs. It's a reminder that Pierce is not just a star on screen, but a multi-dimensional person, with passion that fuel his soul spiritually. Pierce is grounded by his Catholic faith, which has been a steady guide through life's ups and downs. He openly shares how prayer and faith have helped him face tough times, offering comfort when the path seemed dark. His belief in love as the greatest force in the universe shines through in everything he does, inspiring those who follow his journey from the small town in Ireland, where a young boy first dreamed of more, to the bright lights of the global stage, where he captivated millions. Pierce Brosnan's story is one of courage and grace. He embodies what it means to face life's hardships with dignity and to rise stronger. Each time, his legacy is not just the roles he played in films, but the example he sets in real life, showing us all that true greatness is found in how we stand up after life knocks us down. Pierce Brosnan isn't just a movie star, he is a living reminder that strength grows from sorrow, kindness changes lives, and the heart's true power is love. Let's have a close look into Brosnan's legacy. From aspiring actor to 007, Pierce Brosnan's journey to becoming the iconic James Bond was far from simple or smooth, though many now associate him perfectly with the role. His path was actually filled with twists, turns, and deeply personal meaning. Back in the 1980s, Brosnan was already being considered as the next star, but due to existing contracts with other projects, he couldn't step into Bond's shoes right away. It wasn't until finally gave him the chance to take on the legendary role, a moment that carried a heavy emotional weight for him. This wasn't just any acting job for Brosnan. His late wife Cassandra Harris had been a Bond girl herself in the film For Your Eyes Only, and she was one of his biggest supporters. Cassandra believed with all her heart that Pierce was meant to be James Bond someday. Tragically, she lost her battle with ovarian cancer in 1991, 3 years before Brosnan's Bond debut. But her faith in him never faded, and Brosnan has often spoken about how her encouragement stayed with him, giving him strength and motivation. When he finally landed the role, it wasn't just a professional milestone. It felt like fulfilling a shared dream that they had both held on to. Brosnan's first outing as 007 came in GoldenEye in 1995. The stakes were high. The film had a budget of $60 million, and the studio behind it, MGM, was struggling financially. There were real doubts about whether the film would succeed or if it would signal the end of the franchise. Yet GoldenEye turned out to be a game-changer. It breathed new life into the Bond series, earning a staggering $353 million worldwide, and proving that audiences were still captivated by the secret agents. Adventures. Brosnan's dedication was clear from the start. He insisted on performing about 90% of his own stunts. One of the most memorable was a breathtaking bungee jump off a dam towering 220 m high, a stunt so dangerous that no insurance company would even cover it. Following GoldenEye, Brosnan starred in 3 more Bond films: Tomorrow Never Dies in 1997, The World Is Not Enough in 1999, and Die Another Day in 2002. Together, these movies pulled in over $1.2 billion, globally, firmly establishing Brosnan as a beloved Bond. But beyond the box office numbers, these films also carried a deeper personal significance. Broen poured his grief over Cassandra's passing into his portrayal, bringing a unique emotional depth to the character and helping him connect with audiences on a new level. Despite his success and dedication, Brosnan's time as Bond came to an unexpected and painful end. In 2004, while relaxing on vacation in the Bahamas, he received a short phone call from the producers who told him they wanted to move forward with a younger actor. The news hit him hard after delivering 4 popular and financially successful films. Being suddenly dismissed felt like a sharp blow to his career and spirit. This moment plunged Brosnan into a period of deep sadness and uncertainty about his future. In acting, in many ways, Pierce Brosnan's story as James Bond is one of resilience, passion, and personal loss. His journey reminds us that behind the glamour and action-packed scenes lies a human story of hope, heartbreak, and ultimately a legacy that continues to influence the world of cinema. From the tragic loss of his first wife to the tragic diagnosis of his second wife, Pierce Brosnan's life hasn't been free from personal trials. Let's dive into the details of his heartbreaking personal trials. Love, loss, and family. Pierce Brosnan's personal life has been deeply shaped by a series of heartbreaking losses that have left a lasting impact on him and his family. His first wife, Cassandra Harris, battled ovarian cancer for several years before tragically passing away in 1991 when she was only 43 years old. This devastating loss was just the beginning of a painful family history. Connected to the disease years later, tragedy struck again when their daughter Charlotte Broen also succumbed to ovarian cancer in 2013. At the age of 41, what made Charlotte's death even more heart-wrenching was its timing. It came just 2 weeks after she had joyfully celebrated her wedding. Left behind were her 2 young children, now growing up without their mother's presence. This sequence of events cast a heavy shadow over the family.